Hey guys, how's it going? 4 people here and only 2 likes. I don't know what to say about that. I think you guys can do better. What do you guys think? Yeah, got like some good reflective stuff on my anti-reflective glasses. That makes a lot of goddamn sense. Anyway, guys, yeah, felt like doing a live tonight, and thought why not do some 80s shows. Just talk about 80s stuff. Because 80s had some good shows. Now, the most depressing thing you're going to find is that the 80s are as far removed from us today as the 1940s were to the 1980s. Think about that for a minute. Think about all the changes that happened between 1940 and 1980. Think about all the changes that happened between the 80s and now. Yet we still love the 80s. I'm sure the people in the 80s, they were big fans of the 50s. I know the 50s were a big thing. As you know, it was kind of the golden age for America. So yeah, I mean, like, it's even shows with shows and movies like Back to the Future, where they go back to the 50s, where everybody could like relate to the 50s. I think that's kind of cool. Put this pillow over here. Look all good. All right, let's see what we got here. My channel. It's Trekyards. Welcome, guys. I know this has nothing to do with Star Trek necessarily, unless we're going to be talking about 80s Star Trek shows. But and for some reason, I am having troubles loading the stream to get the comments. So hold on a second, guys. Let's see what we can do. 14 people here with 5 likes. Make sure you hit that like button, guys. Bueno, mucho important. Yes. I'm not getting comments here, so how's it going, guys? I'll see some of the comments up there, but oh, here we go. I got it. Yes, excellent. So welcome back, guys. Yeah, this should be a fun discussion. Hopefully you guys are have some good 80s shows you'd like to discuss, or at least bring up. We'll try to talk about them, see whether I watched them, whether I wasn't into them, whatever the situation is. And this goes for 80s cartoons as well. Might as well talk about 80s cartoons, because why not, right? Lots of great comments. All right. That's awesome. Welcome to everyone that's here. Sci-Fi Nation. Greetings, Captain Foley and Trekyards and fellow nerds. Hello, Sci-Fi Nation. I hear you're going to have Samuel on your channel soon. That's awesome, sir. Thank you for joining us. Surprised you're not over on Anti-Trekker's stream. I just noticed that he was streaming late. I don't mean to compete with him. This is when I want to stream, so I'm streaming. So no hard feelings, Mr. Anti-Trekker. Asian Pirates. I love getting nostalgic over the 80s. I mean, who doesn't? Am I right? Glemg. I was too young to appreciate the 80s until I was older, but it had some great shows. Yeah, I mean, I was 6 in 1980. So by the time, 84, 85 rolled around, I was like 10. That's when Transformers was big, G.I. Joe was big. So that's why I'm very much a product of the 80s. Those are what I grew up with. Defiant, Mr. Raven Productions. Patrick, how you doing? Skyhawks or Silverhawks. Never really watched Silverhawks back in the day, but I loved the opening for the show, and yeah, fantastic show for sure. Fall Guy. Fall Guy was absolutely great. I love the theme song from Fall Guy. The intro for that is fantastic. That, of course, starred Lee Majors, and was just about a stuntman who was also a bounty hunter. And it was actually a great show. I remember my parents and I used to watch that all the time, and I had a little version of his truck, his Fall Guy truck with the big eagle on the hood. I still have that toy somewhere. I just have to find it. It's in one of the bins downstairs that I need to dig out from under the stairs because I want to do a live going through all the bins of all my old toys. I think that would be a fantastic live stream. So that's something to look forward to. Airwolf. Yes, Airwolf. 80's had some of the best intros in all of TV. Now the intros are like 15 to 30 seconds long. Some of them, it's like ridiculous. You need a better intro. Some of the best intros were from the 80's, including Thundercats, He-Man, Knight Rider, Airwolf, Fall Guy, so many others that were just fantastic. Mark says 80's got to mention Knight Rider. Yeah, you do. Knight Rider's fantastic. Donnie Pearson, I wonder if the game shows from the 1980s, like the current Jeopardy, would count as well. Anything would count from the 80s. So yes, absolutely. This is. I did want to specialize or do one specifically on 80s cartoons, and that might be a thing at some point. We've kind of done that before, but yeah, I mean, anything 80s is going to work here. Fleet Paw Swiftback $2. Never fear, Fleet Paw's here. Good. Now we can get going on the stream. And sorry about the hair, guys. It's kind of frizzy at the sides. We just got out of the hot tub, Sylvia and myself. I need to go have a shower at some point, but just got out of the hot tub and thought, well, Sylvia's going to bed. I'm going to go up and do a live stream with you guys. So, Fat Produce $5. Fraggle Rock, awesome. TMNT, another one of the great intros of all time, and the movies Willow and Return to Oz are the best I remember from the 80s. Those two movies were great, terrifying kids movies. Willow is fantastic, but we're not talking about 80s movies today. We did another stream talking about 80s movies. Today we want to kind of focus on 80s TV shows. Donnie Pearson, speaking of 80s cartoons, the original Darkwing Duck is among them. Darkwing Duck is great. So's Tailspin. So is Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. Fantastic. Fleet Paw Swiftback throws in, or doesn't throw in anything, sorry, it just says Rescue 911. I used to watch Rescue 911 all the time. That's with William Shatner, of course, as the host. And I always kept an eye out because I heard rumors that there was going to be a new Star Trek movie coming out. So I'd always watch to see if he grew his sideburns because it's supposed to have that point, you know. It's not how it works. They do that on set, you know, it's whatever. But I always watched Rescue 911 going, oh, when is there a new Star Trek movie coming out? Check his sideburns and see. It doesn't quite work like that. Tiberius, Captain Foley, greetings. Does the transporter on the right stand charger devices? That's on top. Charger device. That's on top. It does not. This is just a hallmark ornament. There is no charging ports in that. There are charging ports in the Warp Core, however, 2 of them, 2 USB ports. And this is an Alexa show, and it is plugged into the wall there. Alexa, tell me a Star Trek joke.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Alexa, tell me a Star Trek joke.
What do you call fans of Star Trek and Jeopardy? Trebekkies.
Trebekkies. Glim G, Magnum P.I. Hells to the yeah. Magnum P.I. is one of my favorites growing up. I watched that all the time with my dad, and it's one of the reasons that I wanted to become a private investigator. Eventually did become a private investigator, and it's not quite as fun as you see on Magnum P.I., nor is it as glamorous. Don't get to carry a gun, you don't get to drive the Ferrari, you know, you don't live on an estate. But yeah, Magnum P.I. is fantastic, and that ties in with Rescue Rangers, which I have Chip and Dale over in the cabinet here, but I think it's Dale. Yeah, Dale is dressed as Magnum P.I. with the Hawaii shirt, and Dale was dressed as Indiana Jones. I love that stuff. I love those shows. I didn't put that together back in the day. It took Facebook to show me that. Um, Matt Cornell, original Battlestar Galactica. Um, that was 70s, but late 70s, so I'll include it, I guess. But yeah, Knight Rider was a cool intro. Hell yeah, it was. Ozzy Madero's $5. Hey, did you know Michael Dorn, aka Worf, was on Chips before joining the cast of Next Generation, serving Skeleton Hands? Yes, I did know he was on Chips. Chips was another great one. I wasn't the hugest fan of Chips, and it was I was a little young to appreciate Chips, which I think was late 70s, early 80s. Um, I, so I remember seeing Chips on the TV, but I don't remember a lot of the story for that. So, um, Charles, oh, you just jogged my memory. I did not have very many toys, but I did have the Dukes of Hazzard generally playset thing. I love the Dukes of Hazzard. Grew up watching the Dukes of Hazzard. It was fantastic. It's one of the reasons I probably drive the way I do. Um, but yeah, Dukes of Hazzard is incredible. And I had a bunch of Dukes of Hazzard stuff. I had all the dinky cars, and I always kept one generally in pristine condition, and I had another one that I could just beat the living shit out of. So I had that. I had Daisy Duke's Jeep. I had Boss Hogg's Cadillac, and I had the police car. I had a few police cars as well to chase generally. So I had the dinky cars. Then I also had the larger one. It was plastic that had the top opened up, and you got the Bo and Duke figures. Had that car, and had a really thick Dukes of Hazzard coloring book, which was great. But yeah, I'm having real trouble with my iPad tonight, so hold on. I don't want to miss any comments. If I do, I apologize. Got 32 people here with 21 likes. Guys, make sure you hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel as well. Lots of great stuff. Today I released my Reliant Concept Eaglemoss model review. And a lot of people really enjoyed that. So that is awesome. Yeah, I'm having real issues with the stream on my iPad there. Let me go back and see here. I don't want to miss any super chats for sure. All right, so the next super chat on the list was Material Defender, $2. Do you remember Captain Power? Good show. I do remember Captain Power. I didn't have any of the toys though, and that annoyed me because I wanted to shoot at the TV. But Captain Power was pretty great. Ron Phillips, we've already talked about Knight Rider like twice now. Knight Rider was fantastic. I also had that kit. It was about this big. You push the license plate. It said like 4 different phrases. Had the big Michael Knight figure. That was great. I wish it had the swishing light. I have one now that does that. But back in the day, I loved that car. And the thing I hated about it though was it had Knight 2000 on the side, which was just dumb. I don't know why that was a thing. All right, here we go. Now it's working. Hardcastle McCormick does not hold up very well. A lot of the shows don't hold up very well. So Hardcastle McCormick, that immediately made me think of Jake and the Fat Man, Spencer for Hire, Simon and Simon, Murder, She Wrote. Was Matt Houston, I think was one. Had the Matt Houston dinky car as well. See, a lot of these defined my childhood because I had the toys from a lot of these things. And, you know, a show like this where I do the live and you guys mention things just stirs up so many memories and gets so many like, oh yeah, that was a thing, which is awesome. Charles says the A-Team and MacGyver. Yes, both were fantastic. Simply love them. Defiant Mr. Raven Productions. Not enough people talk about Fall Guy, and that is sad. It is very sad. But if you want some Fall Guy, if you want a Fall Guy fix, go onto YouTube, type in Fall Guy. There's full episodes on YouTube for free to watch. I've actually been watching a few over the past like month and a half. I'll just when we're randomly come with my suggestions because I watched another one before, and yeah, it's kind of great getting back into those shows. Lee Majors was great, and I love the intro for that show. I just love it. Ever hear of this one, the show called Small Wonder? I used to love Small Wonder. It took me forever to remember Small Wonder. I knew there was a show about a little girl who was a robot. I could not remember the name of the show to save my life. And then literally probably 10 years ago, I forget who I asked, but it came up and it's like, yes, Small Wonder. It's like, yes, Small Wonder. I love Small Wonder. Alf. I mean, oh my God, there's so many. Let's see. Redneck Trekker. Am I late again? Charles in Charge. Nicole Eggert. First Crush. Oh my. Charles in Charge. Didn't watch a lot of that. I did watch it though. Give Me a Break with Nell Carter. Watch that. See, I want to say the Jeffersons in Different Strokes, but I think that was more 70s. Family Ties with Alex P. Keaton. Michael J. Fox. He was actually filming that and Back to the Future at the same time and got very little sleep. Ozzy Madera's Chips ran from 1977 to 1983. So yeah, that would definitely count as a 80s show. TMNT was a thing. Hell yeah, it was. Vance 1982. Mysterious Cities of Gold was a favorite old school anime of mine in the late 80s. I never watched any anime or anything. I watched what was on the local channels. We had like 3 local channels that came in, and then 4 if you're lucky. One of the UHF stations would work. But yeah. Ozzy says, awesome on Reliant episode today. Your Reliance prefix code is 16309. The Cartoon Cops. Central Organization of Police Specialists. Yeah. I have a lot of these openings for shows on my iPad, like on my music collection on my phone. So I'll be driving along and I'll get the intro for Fall Guy or Knight Rider. And some of them make you want to drive faster. Don't forget the intro to Dukes of Hazzard, which was also fantastic. Waylon Jennings. Fleet MASH, best show ever. Well, that was definitely 70s, but yeah, that was a great show. Watched MASH a lot. Donnie says, either R911, Rescue 911, or Tiny Toon Adventures, which debuted a year after 9/11's debut, introduced me to the Richard Stone, who later composed the theme song for Animaniacs. Animaniacs, we're zany to the max. That's also on my phone. Yes, it is indeed. The Animaniacs. Dallas had a good theme, played right at my bedtime. Yeah, Dallas did have a good theme. I never really got into Dallas, though. Never really watched it. That was more of a late or a prime time soap opera. Never got into that, but... Jason Paris, Airwolf, Knight Rider, The A-Team, Night Court. Night Court's fantastic, yes. Magnum P.I, good shows back in the day. Jaddock Productions, The Reading Rainbow, come on, LeVar, please pay attention to me. Reading Rainbow also had a great intro. I can't remember now. Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow, reading rainbow. Yeah, I shouldn't ever sing. Yes, Small Wonder, also Silver Spoons with Ricky Schroeder. Yeah, never really watched Silver Spoons, to be honest. I did watch a lot of Small Wonder, though. Da-da-da-da-da, Inspector Gadget, absolutely, yes. Punky Brewster, I caught the odd Punky Brewster, but didn't watch that a lot, no. TNG, I guess, counts, but we talk about that all the goddamn time. So 45 people watching, 27 likes. Guys, you can do better. Some of you haven't hit like yet, and with 45 of you here, that's quite discouraging. Hit like, what did the P stand for in what? Alex P. Keaton? I don't know. Don't know. Different Strokes was 80s. Well, there you go. We watched Different Strokes all the time as well. I thought it was more, it started in the 70s and bled over to the 80s, but yeah. Like I said, late 70s I'll count because Fleetpaw Swiftback, Doogie Howser. Used to watch that. Don't have a lot of memories of it, but yeah, Neil Patrick Harris is great. So, what about Doctor Who? Nice. Never watched Doctor Who back in the day. Didn't have a channel that got it. So, Transformers. Well, yeah, that goes without saying. Night Court. Richard Mole is from my hometown. Wow, that's cool. Mask. Absolutely. Chippendale Rescue Rangers, said that one already. It's okay if you repeat them too. I just, trying to. A-Team, or has that already been mentioned? A-Team has been mentioned a few times. A-Team was great. You had Hannibal Lecter, Murdoch, B.A. Baracus, and Face. Love that show. Repeats are fine, Charles. It's not bad. Pinky and the Brain, yes. Darkwing Duck, absolutely. Thank you, Joshua Clow. I enjoyed the short-lived time travel show Voyagers. Thank you. That's another one that I can never remember the goddamn name of the show, but yeah, he had the little time travel thing with the little globe. Phineas Bogg was his name. And I think he had a kid companion that went with him. It lasted like one season. I love Voyagers. I need to rewatch that, actually. Greatest American Hero. Again, one of the best intros of all time. I love that song. V, the series, didn't do as well as the miniseries and Final Battle. V, the miniseries, was great. I remember that was a big deal. My brothers really wanted to watch that because it was awesome. And it was so exciting, the miniseries. And I remember the reveal of their face being peeled off and seeing the reptile, and also the lady with the dark hair with the big glasses who had a big rat, and and her jaw dislocated and she ate it. I remember that viscerally from when I was a kid. That freaked me out. The Joy of Painting with Bob Ross. I'd watch that all the time when my grandma was babysitting me. It was always on in the afternoon. So yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Growing Pains. Growing Pains was also great. Watch that all the time as well. Dragon Ball, that was effing awesome. Never watched Dragon Ball. 1988 animated series of Superman. Yeah, I watched a little bit of that. Was the animated Batman series in the 80s? Or was that 90s? Anyway, animated Batman. Butterfly in the sky, I can fly twice as high. Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow, reading rainbow. Misfits of Science, that sounds familiar. Is that the one where the main character's name was Wizard? I can't recall. Bravestar. Bravestar is another great intro. I'm sure it's what it said, but Star Blazers, never really watched Star Blazers. I was aware of it, never had a channel that could get it. And my friend Ash liked Star Blazers a lot, so I remember seeing it on once or twice at his place. But yeah, never got into Star Blazers. Let's see, 54 people watching with 35 likes. We can hit 40 likes, guys. If you haven't hit the like button, just hit the like button. It's a little thumbs up thing. like the Fonz, hey, which is not 80s, obviously, but just think of that picture of Knight Rider, David Hasselhoff and Gary Coleman with Kit, and he's doing this. Max Headroom, yeah. Max Headroom. TJ Hooker, yes, absolutely, absolutely. Favorite cartoons included Gummy Bears, Dungeons and Dragons, Pole Position, and Lasertag Academy. Watched the hell out of Gummy Bears. Gummy Bears is also on my MP3 list. I absolutely love the Gummy Bears theme. And Olivia, if you're here, comment. I'll give you a wrench. I know you don't have a wrench. I know you need a wrench. So, Dungeons and Dragons, never watched it. Never had a channel that had it on. Pole Position, again, never watched. And Lasertag Academy, also never watched. That being said, I do have the original Lasertag kit with the chess pieces and the gun. And my brothers and I used to play laser tag out in my parents' backyard. Now, my parents have a 4.5 acre property, so that was a pretty big backyard. We had a lot of fun. So I did have the game, but I never saw the show. Fleet Paw says, I think he missed it. If I missed anything, let me know. Right, Canada doesn't have PBS. No. Eugene, 500 rubles. Your 80s shows are my 90s. A-Team, Knight Rider, Quantum Leap, yes, yes. Airwolf, Elf, Moonlighting with Sybil Shepherd and Bruce Willis. That's it. Used to watch that. V and a whole lot of cartoon series, Disney or not. Absolutely. Care Bears theme song is still stuck in my head. Can't remember a single other thing about that show. That show was fantastic. I love the Care Bears, and yes, the theme song is infectious. Like I said, it's on my MP3 player, and I'll be driving around the Camaro, and it'll come on and be like, looking around. All right, there's nobody around. I can listen to it. And then somebody comes around, I gotta like change it, skip ahead, do an AC/DC song. You know. The Smurfs. I watched the Smurfs like every morning. I was a huge fan of the Smurfs. That being said, also Battle of the Planets. Again, I think that's 70s though. I think that's late 70s that bled into the early 80s. So there's a remake of a Japanese show called Gatchaman, which was also Battle of the Planets in the U.S. And they added little segments in the show because they cut out a lot of the Japanese adult content. So they added little segments with Seven Zark 7 and his little dog. I can't remember his dog's name though. But his dog would like fly with his little tail. And I liked Seven Zark 7 because he was like R2-D2, which is what they wanted. They wanted kids to like have an R2-D2 kind of analog for the show and fill in the space, and it really worked well. I used to watch that show. I wanted to change my name to Mark because Mark was the leader of the team, at least for the American version, and I thought he was so cool. And I watched that every morning before school. That and the Mighty Hercules, which was like 15-minute long episodes. But the Mighty Hercules, da-da-da-da-da-da. Hercules, hero song and story. Hercules, winner of ancient glories, fighting for the right, fighting with his might, with the strength of 10 ordinary men. Hercules, people feel safe when near him. Hercules, only the evil fear him. Fire in his eyes, something. Anyway, he put the ring on to get his powers. I fucking love that show. I think those were more 70s though. I think Battle of the Planets and that were 70s. Also on in the mornings was Astro Boy, which I also have on my MP3 player. I have all these songs on my MP3 player. I used to love Astro Boy as well, and I used to watch that stuff before school. So if you're Canadian, I think it's just Canada. There's Lauren Green's Wild Kingdom. I think that might be actually American, but Lauren Green's Wild Kingdom. We had the Looney Tunes. In Canada, we had the Littlest Hobo. I don't know if you've seen the Littlest Hobo. The Magical World of Disney every Sunday. Voyagers was great. Quantum Leap, yes. Alex Peace Keaton. Peace was his middle name. That's cool. That's because his parents were hippies. Hope YouTube isn't messing up again. Uh-oh, what happened? I let Stuart know. You let me know what, Justin. All right, Fleetpaw, what did I miss with Justin Hampton? Did he send a super chat that I missed? If so, please, Fleetpaw, just quote it and put it, let me know how much and put it in the chat. I'll catch up to it. I am behind in the chat, so I apologize. Martin, Devin, Magnum P.I had a great theme. Yeah, that's another one that makes me drive fast. Bosom Buddies. Yep, used to watch that. See, again, I wanted to say Golden Girls. I think that was 80s. That was on later, and my grandma used to watch that, so I'd watch that. Three's Company. I think that's more late 70s, though. Newhart. Yeah, Newhart. Animated Batman TV series was premiered in 1993. Yeah, that's what I thought. Ozzy throws in $5. Alex Peace Keaton. Peace was his middle name. Skeleton Hands on Family Ties. Yes. Who's the Boss? I used to watch that all the show. I had a huge crush on Elisa Milano. Dino Saucers. Never saw that. Does anybody remember a children's show on PBS called Mr. McBee? I cannot find any trace of it anywhere. The theme lyrics where he rides around Clover the town. No, I haven't heard of that. Another one we had here in Canada was the Barbapapas. That took me forever to remember that as well. That's one that I remember from way back when I was young. Clickety Click Barbatrick, and they would transform into like furniture and stupid shit. There's like different colored ones in the family. But it was the Barbapapas, and I think it was originally a French show. I don't know if it was exclusively Canadian, but I remember that from when I was young, and it took me years to remember the name of that show. Thundar the Barbarian. Let's see. I gotta skip a few. I gotta catch up, guys. So I apologize. I will hit all the super chats though. If I did miss one from you, Justin, which you shouldn't be sending a super chat anyway, I will get back to it. The Beachcombers. Fucking Beachcombers. Hell yeah. That was on again at night. I think Beachcombers and The Littlest Hobo were on after Lauren Green's Wild Kingdom. I know they were on around supper time. I do remember that. Miami Vice, yes. Cheers, of course, yes. The California Raisin Show, I remember that, yeah. Benny Hill, I love Benny Hill. Me and my brother Steve are huge fans of Benny Hill. My mom absolutely hated Benny Hill. My dad thought it was funny. He didn't watch it very much though. But my mom hated Benny Hill. Just hated him. Couldn't stand him. So me and my brother Steve would always watch it. I love Benny Hill. Ghostbusters, yes. Pole Position. I don't remember Pole Position. Like you say that, and I'm like, that's a game. I have the little arcade game up there, actually. But I don't remember the show. Star Wars Droids. Star Wars Droids was great, and also Ewoks. And it's funny because Sylvia's uncle, so my mother-in-law's brother, he actually worked on Droids. Droids and Ewoks was his first show that he worked on as an animator. He is now an animator. He's done animations for a whole bunch of stuff like Roly Poly Oly and a whole bunch of other kids shows. And he's busy as hell right now working because of the COVID thing, because animation is huge still. So he's worked on a lot of these shows, and then of course I met Sylvia, found out about him, found out he worked on Star Wars, and I'm like, I grew up watching that shit. And I don't know which Ewoks tune you guys got, but ours was the Ewoks. They're the spirits of the forest moon. Ooh, we are the And I love the show. I love the Ewoks. I love Droids. I hated the animation in Droids, and it's sad because I was a huge R2-D2 fan and a huge C-3PO fan. I just love Droids, and I hated the animation in that show with a passion. But I used to watch it all the time. Voltron, yes, Voltron. Friday the 13th, the series. Never watched that. Sorry. And no, I never watched Dungeons and Dragons Sci-Fi Nation. I didn't have it. It wasn't on any of the channels that we could get Fraggle Rock was, though. Fraggle Rock. Unsolved Mysteries, yes. Um, I'm shocked I haven't heard He-Man mentioned. I already mentioned He-Man. It was one of the, when I was mentioning some of the best intros of all time. Were in the 80s. I mentioned that, but Wizards and Warriors. That sounds familiar, but I can't remember it specifically. X-Men animated series. Da-da-da-da-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Yeah, another great opening. I thought that was more 90s. That was on about the time of the animated Batman the animated series. I think it was either late 80s or early 90s for that. The Jetsons, that was more 70s. Same with the Flintstones. My dad was a huge Flintstones fan. Um, I'm way behind in this chat. Goddamn. Let's see. Scooby Doo. Yeah, where are you, Scooby Doo? I bet Stuart likes Sledgehammer. Oh, Sledgehammer was great. And there was another show called Manimal, where the guy could turn into a big boa constrictor, eagle, a black panther. And I think there was another animal he could turn into. But I mentioned the show Manimal, and nobody knows what the fuck I'm talking about. Snorks. Yeah, I had this. I watched the Snorks. Hey, just joined the chat. Has anyone mentioned Airwolf? That's been mentioned a few times. The Wizard with David Rapport. Yeah, The Wizard with two Z's. Or two Z's, depending where the fuck you're from. Yeah, I used to watch that too. Biker Mice from Mars, never watched that. Astro Boy, he is brave and gentle and wise. Soaring high in the sky, he may be small, but only inside. Oh, brings back so many memories, all these songs. And like I said, they're all on my goddamn phone, so. Wait, the dog on Corner Gas was named Little's Tobo. Is that a real thing? So that was a real thing. Yes, yeah. Corner Gas is Canadian. The Little's Tobo was another Canadian show as well. Yes. Black Star, China Beach. Love China Beach. I had a huge crush on Dana Delaney, I think was her name. The main actress from that. I think my dad did too because he watched it all the time. Automan. See, I hadn't heard of Automan until probably 5 or 6 years ago. I didn't know Automan existed. I didn't know that was a thing. But it's got Ricky Ricardo Jr. in it and some other dude. And he's like an artificial intelligence. He turns into a Lamborghini that looks all Tronized and a helicopter with the fluorescent blue lights. And I would have loved that show because I was a huge Lamborghini fan. Didn't know about that show until 6 fucking years ago. So, Perfect Strangers, yes. Matlock, Matlock and Murder, She Wrote, and there's one or two other ones that my parents would watch all the time. Growing Pains, In the Heat of the Night, yes. Dukes of Hazzard was cool. Them good old Duke boys never meant no harm. Remington Steele. Ah, yes. I remember Remington Steele. I always thought when I was young, too, that he would make, it was Pierce Brosnan, that he would make a fantastic James Bond. And then it finally happened. It's like, yeah. Mr. Belvedere. Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, I remember Mr. Belvedere. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Would watch that occasionally when I was at my grandma's. My grandma had more channels because she lived in the city and she had cable. So when I went over to her place, I would watch like Transformers and G.I. Joe and all that stuff. But I grew up in the country, so we didn't have cable lines running by our house, even though we were between two smaller towns. Eventually, we got cable, but that was like late 80s that we got the cable. But early on, I would watch what was available on our 4 channels that we had, or I would have to go into, when I was being babysat by my grandma, she had cable, so she had all the great channels like Fox and all that, so I could watch the Fox animated shows and stuff. So so a lot of these I learned about after the fact, right? So did anyone else watch a show called Tomes and Talismans in their school? A librarian who got frozen and Thaws to find aliens had taken over the Earth, and she had to use library skills. Nope, haven't heard of that. G.I. Joe, yep, huge G.I. Joe fan. I was a bigger G.I. Joe fan as a kid than I was Transformers. Now that I'm older, I'm more of a Transformers fan, but I have a shit ton of G.I. Joe toys. I had the base, I had the Dragonfly helicopter, I had the Killer Whale hover hovercraft. I had the Sky Striker. I still do. I still have all these toys downstairs. Some of them aren't in the best of shape, but I had a shit ton of figures for that. And I love G.I. Joe. Like I said, had a 4.5 acre backyard to play in. Had a little pond and all that, so I was always like out there playing with my G.I. Joes and stuff. Yeah. Head of the Class, that sounds familiar. Amazing Stories, I kind of remember Amazing Stories a little bit. Captain Foley Elf, Growing Pains and Family Ties, yes. Justin Hampton, $5. TJ Hooker with James Darren, aka Vic, and Richard Hurd, Admiral Paris, and William Shatner sent this earlier, but hit like. We got 50. Yay, loving this live. Okay, Justin, that must have been the one I missed, and I apologize. Like I said, I was having issues with the internet on my iPad, so I might have missed one or two, and I apologize for that. So. WKRP in Cincinnati. That was more late 70s, though. You could tell by the way they dressed. Herb Tarlick and Venus Flytrap and Johnny Fever and Jennifer and Mr. Carlson. Oh, yes. And that's, again, WKRP in Cincinnati. That's on my MP3 player as well. Baby, if you ever wondered whatever became of me, I'm living on the air in Cincinnati. Cincinnati, WKRP. Got kinda tired of packing and unpacking. Time to time, up and down. I don't know. Yeah, I get lost sometimes, but unless I have the music on. Wonder Years was fantastic. I love the Wonder Years. Let's see what we got here. Quantum Leap, yep. The original She-Ra. Yeah, I used to watch She-Ra. Let's see here. Yes, Probe was a sci-fi series in the 1980s. Isaac Asimov was involved with it. See, I've heard of Probe. I've never seen it. Garfield and Friends, yes. Scott Baio. Well, Scott Baio, he was Charles in Charge, wasn't he? Xena, Warrior Princess. Never watched that at the time. But since then, Sylvia and myself watched the whole series a few years ago, and then I bought her the full series on DVD like 2 years ago for Christmas. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Xena, obviously. But I didn't really watch it all until I met Sylvia. That's one that I would catch when I was in my teenage years on reruns and stuff, and Hercules as well. But didn't watch them all until I actually met Sylvia. She was a big fan of the show, so we watched it together. See, a lot of people here remember Manimal, which was great because I don't feel like I'm fucking insane anymore. Piano Dean throws in $2. Well, thank you very much, Piano Dean. I'm glad you're here. I'm surprised you're here. Anti-Trekker's going. He's live right now, so thank you. Let's see. We have 52 people watching with 52 likes. Ooh. Now 53 people watching. We need one more like to get that up. But so if you haven't liked yet, hit the like button. I forgot Seinfeld started in 1989. Never really watched Seinfeld. I've seen a few episodes here and there. Never really got into it. It's kind of like it's a cult one. I actually watched an episode 2 nights ago because it was on, and it was just it grabbed my interest. I need to watch all of Seinfeld. I think Snorkels, yes. Johnny Quest, Tour of Duty, Paint It Black was the intro song for that, and my dad is a huge Vietnam not fan, but you know he loves the era and the conflict side of it. He used to watch Tour of Duty all the time. I love that show. Tour of Duty's great. China Beach also had the Doctor in it from Voyager. Was Robert Picardo in that? Really? Wow. Voyagers, when they went through history, or time correcting history. Yeah. Yeah, that's one I can never remember the name of that goddamn show. I remember Phineas Bogg is the guy's name. And his little time dial thing, which is cool. Cagney and Lacey, that's more 70s, I think. You'll never guess my secret identity. Yes, SC Scout guy. Blue Thunder, the series. I didn't know Blue Thunder had a series. Makes sense, but I always preferred Blue Thunder over Airwolf for some reason, as far as helicopters went. Blue Thunder just looked beefier and more militaristic. Don't get me wrong, I think Airwolf is fantastic. That is such a slick looking helicopter. But yeah, I was always more of a Blue Thunder fan. So take that for what it's worth. 21 Jump Street, Murder, She Wrote, Hill Street Blues. My brother Sean was a huge Hill Street Blues fan. I never could get into it. The Adventures of Superboy. Saint Elsewhere, another one I never watched. Hunter. My dad used to love Hunter. Starsky and Hutch, Space 1999. That's more 70s for sure. Yeah, my dad used to watch Hunter and Spencer for Hire and Jake and the Fat Man, and of course Magnum P.I. God, this is bringing back so many great memories, guys. Hill Street Blues. I mentioned that one already. L.A. Law, never watched that really. This was more 70s, I'm sure. But anybody remember Quincy MD or ME, medical examiner? With, I can't think of the actor's name now. Yeah, but Quincy ME, my mom was a huge fan of that show. Damn. I think that's more 70s though, for sure. Simon and Simon, L.A. Law, Starman. Wow. Simon and Simon's theme song just sounded like you were getting ready to get your party on. I love Simon. It's another one that's on my MP3 list. The Facts of Life. I used to watch The Facts of Life all the time. That was a guilty pleasure. I liked the blonde. I can't remember her name now. But there was Tootie and Mrs. Garrett. Damn. Guilty pleasure. I was young and I was growing up, having hormones. Zachary Gibbons, a Canadian 80s show you probably knew. Captain was Degrassi High. I knew of it, never watched it. Canadian shows back in the day were shit. They weren't very good. They weren't filmed very well. They looked amateur. So never really got into them. Webster. Ooh, I watched Webster. Yeah. Martin Devon, can't believe you haven't got a recording contract. I can't sing, but I try. I have fun. Justin Hampton, Trekyards, no problem, Captain. And funny, they were in TJ Hooker. That's Star Trek. Crazy. LOL. What was Mork and Mindy? 70s or 80s? That was definitely 70s. Oh my God, Wonder Years Star Trek episode was awesome. How about the miniseries America? No, it doesn't ring a bell. I haven't seen Olivia commenting. I'm not sure she's still here. I want to give her a wrench. She's going to be a moderator, but Captain liked Xena's cleavage. Actually, when I was younger, I was more a fan of Gabrielle. I still think she's super cute, but now that I'm more mature, it's definitely Xena. That being said, I'd take either one of them. Also, Aphrodite in that show is super hot. There's a lot of hot women in that show, and it's on CTV Sci-Fi like every day too. So I watch the odd episode here and there now. So Mark Philippe, that was my favorite part of Xena. What, the cleavage? Fleetboss hit back $2, 54 likes, and 55 watching. We can hit 60. Hashtag make Fleetpop pay. We're one away from 60 likes, guys. We have 57 people watching with 59 likes. One person out there hasn't hit that like button yet. little thumbs up. You can do it. There we go. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. ST Scout guy. My dad did 2 tours in Vietnam in the Marines, and he taped every episode of Tour of Duty. I found all the VHS tapes not that long ago. Wow. That's insane. Blue Thunder lasted only 1 season. Dana Carey was in it. Okay. Asian Pirate. I remember when they had an episode of Tomorrow People that had aliens dressed in KKK robes. I don't know what that's referring to specifically. Sci-Fi Nation. Blue Thunder did have a series based on the movie Captain, but the chapter looked anemic compared to Airwolf. Oh, well, there you go. Blue Thunder series lasted 1 season. A lot of these shows lasted 1 season, which is sad. Legend of Zelda, the animated series, again, never watched it. Fall Guy with Lee Majors, I simply love that show. That's a very underrated show and not discussed enough. Patrick on here earlier mentioned that. It's not talked about enough, and it really should be. That being said, you can watch Fall Guy. There's a lot of free episodes on YouTube, so check it out after this if you wish. I love Quincy Emmy, starring Jack Klugman. Thank you, that's his name. He was also in The Odd Couple with... can't remember the guy he starred with in The Odd Couple. But that's what I remember him as, is Oscar from The Odd Couple. And then he started working on Quincy Emmy. The Littles cartoon. I know The Littles. I didn't know they had a series necessarily, and I never watched it. But I know who you're talking about. The Adventures of Galaxy Rangers. Nope. Charles, after MASH was canceled like halfway through the 3rd episode. Piano Dean, CPO Sharky with Don Rickles. Too funny. Yeah, I haven't watched that. I'm not even sure what that is. Ugh, sorry. Blair on the fax. That's Blair. Thank you. That's it. Andrew Sepp, you can't do that on TV, but you had to have cable to see that great Canadian show. Yeah, I saw a few episodes of that. I do remember a few episodes of that, but like I said, we got cable in the late 80s, I think 86, 87. But before that, I had to go to my grandma's in the city because she had cable because she was in the city. We would have had it if we had a cable line running by our house, but like I said, we lived in the country, so they hadn't done that yet. Oh, the good old days. Buck Rogers in the 25th century. Again, I think that started in the 70s. Piano Dean, Gabrielle was much hotter with long hair. I'd agree. That being said, I wouldn't kick her out of bed for eating crackers with short hair. Welcome back, Cotter. Why does that sound familiar? I think that's a show. Never watched it, though. Wow, Aphrodite was beautiful. You're right. Oh, yeah. Devo77X Gabrielle and her amazing shrinking costume. And there's nothing wrong with that. People complain about that these days. There's nothing wrong about it. I know it's 70s, but my crush was Linda Carter in Wonder Woman. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I used to watch a lot of Wonder Woman when I was younger, too. So did my brothers and my dad, ironically enough. I often wondered, well, when I was young, why my dad liked certain shows. Now that I'm older, I know why he likes certain shows. Ozzy throws in $5. Quincy MD with Jack Klugman, Skeleton Hands, came after the Odd Couple series was over. Yes. The Sage of Games. Didn't Linda Carter make a cameo in the new Wonder Woman featured movies? Probably, because Linda Carter still looks fucking mint. Galaxy High, nope, never heard of that. So Devo77X, Wonder Woman, $6 Million Man, and Bionic Woman were all 70s. Yes, they were. Felix Unger. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Equals Tony Randall. Thank you very much. Tony Randall, that's the name I was looking for, so thank you. SC Scout Guy, Stuart can you comment on Canadian TV from the 80s? Did they just buy various US produced series and then rebroadcast them under their network names? Yes, but they also had a lot of exclusive Canadian content. Like I said, the List Hobo, the Barba Papas, there was a bunch of other shit. I don't know. Polka Dot Door. Polkaroo, Polkaroo, oh, Polkaroo. Where's the Polkaroo? I missed the Polkaroo again? Oh, fucking Polkaroo. Highway to Heaven with Michael Landon. Yes, used to watch that all the time as well. Let's see. Rebel Poet 71. Why the fuck do people love Golden Girls, and why is Betty White so popular now? I don't know. I don't know the answer to either of those questions. Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau played the old couple in the movie. Yes, but not in the original TV show. The original TV show was, yes, yeah, it was not them. Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. Never watched it. Let's not forget Cheers. Mention Cheers. The 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo. I think that was also 70s. It might have been the 80s, but the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo was stupid. Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Is the definitive Scooby-Doo show. I'm sorry. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We need some help from you now. Married with Children started in 87. Yeah, I didn't watch a lot of Married with Children early on. I did catch it like a few years later when it was into its run. And then, yeah, see it in lots of syndications. So, Justin Hampton, Linda Carter did play U.S. President in new Supergirl series. Supergirl series. Okay, well, yeah, we're talking about the Wonder Woman movie, though. Like, she must have made an appearance in that, I would think. The Highwaymen. Yeah. John Page, Linda Carter did nude scene in Bobby Joe and the Outlaw. Yeah, you can look her up on Google. 55 people watching with 66 likes. That's awesome, guys. If you guys have any more that you really want me to read, for sure, send a super chat if you can. I'd really appreciate it. But this is really fun. This is really fun. Danger Bay was a Canadian show. Yeah, I remember Danger Bay. I didn't really watch much of it, though. Jace and the Wheeled Warriors. That's another one that I watched, which I always forget about. There was also one called Turbo, or Teen Turbo, or Turbo Teen. It was Turbo Teen, where he turned into like a Trans Am. There's a kid that turned into a Trans Am. It's kind of stupid, but. Redneck Trekker. All my children, General Hospital, had to watch daytime soaps with Grandma before going to Walmart to get a toy. Yeah, my mom was never into. Well, my mom worked as a secretary. She was never home during the day, and my grandma wasn't into soap operas. My grandma used to watch wrestling, and Jerry Springer. She was into that kind of shit. Gem and the Holograms. Gem and the Holograms, I hate to admit it, but that intro, that opening, is also on my MP3 player. Never really watched the show, but it was on either before or after G.I. Joe, so it was one of those things you kind of caught the beginning or the end of. But Captain Casey Stewart. Cat, ever watch Hawkeye with Linda Carter and Lee Hornsley? No. But speaking of 80s shows and Spencer for Hire, there was a spin-off show from that called Hawk, which featured Benjamin Sisko, or Avery Brooks, if you will. So, Gung Ho, the TV series. I remember that one. I don't remember that. Smurfs, we mentioned. Visionaries was awesome. Visionaries was a good cartoon and a good toy line. I didn't have any of the toys. I still don't. Scarecrow and Mrs. King. The name rings a bell. I cannot for the life of me picture it. So, Sequest. Yep, Sequest DSV. Taxi, that was 70s for sure. Captain Foley, yes, it was Turbo Teen. Spencer for Hire with Captain Cisco, LOL. Sequest was early 90s, I believe. I believe you are right on that. Rebel Post 71, 90s wrestling was my life. Undertaker just went into retirement. Yeah, my dad used to watch a lot of wrestling in the 80s, so I kind of got hooked on it. And I dropped out of it for a while. Then I watched some in the 90s. Missed a lot of the Attitude Era, unfortunately. And then probably 10 years ago, I watched it for a few years with my neighbor because my neighbor was a fan. And I kind of got back into it, and then I've fallen out of it. The last, 6 years, I just have not watched wrestling. Let's see. I Pity the Fool. Alvin and the Chipmunks, yes. Was Josie and the Pussycats 80s as well, or earlier? That was definitely earlier. That was definitely 70s. Sherlock Holmes with Jeremy Brent was 80s-tastic. I had all of those taped on VHS. I fucking loved those. And it was the BBC, because that's after we got cable. And it was introduced by Vincent Price. And they were fucking awesome. I had them all taped. I now have them all on DVD. And Jeremy Brett is the definitive Sherlock Holmes, in case you guys don't know. The Granada series, Sherlock Holmes series, was the best Sherlock Holmes series ever done and ever will be done. So, no Benedict Cumberbatch, no Johnny Lee Miller, no fucking Robert Downey Jr. He's a fucking awful Sherlock Holmes, just for the record. And they're making a third fucking movie with him as Sherlock Holmes. It's going to be out Christmas or December of 2021. It's supposed to be out Christmas of 2020, like Christmas Day, but it's been pushed back, obviously. So they don't need another one. He's a fucking awful Sherlock Holmes. He's not a good. That's it. I'm getting off on a rant. I gotta stop. Scarecrow and Mrs. King was about a spy ends up enlisting a homemaking to help him. A home. Oh, okay. It sounds familiar. A Man Called Hawk. Yeah, that was the show, not just Hawk. Sorry. Charles. So, side story. I thought a mutual friend knew Goldberg. He did a thing with The Undertaker last year. He said Undertaker was in terrible shape. Bill got a bad cut, and they cut the match short. Well, that's sad. Tiger Hawks was part of the cartoon series called The Comic Strip. Didn't know that. Bruce Boxlinger was in Scarecrow. Okay, that's why I know it. That's what you're right. You're absolutely right. Time Tracks. Remington Steele. Yes. The Super Mario Brothers Super Show. Never watched that. Never saw that on TV. Tales from the Crypt. Yes, that was later though. I think that was 90s. Could be wrong. Elvira, Mistress of the Night. Used to watch her all the time late at night. Had a little 13-inch black and white TV in my bedroom. I was the only one of my brothers that had a TV because I was the youngest, and I got spoiled, and they all hated it. They were out of the house by then. Well, at least Steve was. Sean wasn't for a while, but I had a little 13-inch TV, black and white TV in my room. And yeah, I would tune in that kind of late night stuff at night and watch the B horror movies. Remember Moonlighting with Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd? Yes, used to watch that all the time. I love when they get mad at each other and then go to their respective offices and slam the doors. Happened all the time. The Stody, what about Super Force? I'm not sure what Super Force is. Captain Casey Stewart Cap sent you a link to Linda Carter Hawkeye on Facebook. Well, thank you. Masters of the Universe, the movie. It's fucking awful. Too close for comfort. I don't know. Kind of like moonlighting. Yeah. Sally Jesse Raphael, Geraldo, Ricky Lake, Jerry Springer, all that daytime shit. Of course, Price is Right. That's been on since forever. Trying to think of some other stuff. We're kind of hitting the same ones now, and we're not pulling out little nuggets that we've forgotten about. Phil Donahue. This is another good one, yeah. The Young Ones. The Young Ones sounds familiar. And then every Sunday was the Incredible World of Disney or whatever. And it would always have great Disney movies or cartoons on. And it was just great. Every Sunday after supper, we'd watch the Magical World of Disney. Magical World of Disney was it called, yeah. And I remember during the week it was Lauren Green's Wild Kingdom. I loved that show as a kid. And yeah, then Littlest Hobo I think was on just before supper or while supper was being made, because I got interrupted a lot of times to go eat supper watching that show. God damn. Brings back a lot of memories, man. The People's Court, never watched that. The Pac-Man show, good theme. A good theme song, bad show. A lot of shows in the 80s had good themes but were bad shows. Now we haven't mentioned Thundercats. We haven't mentioned... well, we mentioned a lot of the cartoons. I mentioned Thundercats earlier, but nobody else has mentioned it that I saw anyway. God damn. That's brought back a lot of memories, guys. Lots of good stuff in the 80s. As soon as I end this stream, I'm going to think of other shit too. Should have made a list. But that being said, even if I would have made a list, you guys have brought up so many that I had completely forgotten about till you mentioned them. And it's like, God damn, yeah, that's great. And it's just really given me this, I can feel myself sitting in my parents' living room, supper cooking, my mom making supper, just had come home from work, or me sitting, watching TV before school, before I had to catch the bus. My mom had left for work, it's put me back in that place, and I fucking love that. And it's the weirdest, and also my grandmother's place, my grandmother's basement with the TV, and me spending like days there in the summer. Every day I'd be dropped off there because my parents both worked. My dad was a paramedic and did 12-hour shifts. My mom was a secretary. She worked 9 to 5 Monday to Friday. So in the summer, a lot of times I'd be dropped off at my grandma's place, and I had a whole different set of friends at my grandma's, and I used to go over to their place and watch TV, or just watch TV at my Nana's place. So a lot of great memories, man. A lot of great memories. Redneck Trekker, thank you. I love you. Bizarre with I had Super Dave Osborne, but John Biner. John Biner was the host. I fucking love Bizarre. I haven't thought about Bizarre in forever, dude. Yeah, it's like it's like Benny Hill, but not. Fuck me. Now I gotta look up some Bizarre and see if I can find that. Oh, thank you for mentioning that. Sci-Fi Nation, the Captain Foley show, the way back to what we call Trekyards. Oh, fuck. Friday Night Videos, knock of MTV. Anybody remember Team Knight Rider? Can't find it anywhere on DVD. That's because it's fucking garbage. Team Knight Rider was awful. So was the new Knight Rider with the Mustang. Just garbage. Garbage. You don't want to find it on DVD. Fleetpop swept back $2, 71 likes. We did it. Can we hit 80? Hashtag make Fleetpop pay. We got 72. We need 8 more likes. If 8 of you haven't hit like yet, if you haven't hit the thumbs up, please do it. On a mobile, all you have to do is close the live chat with a little X in the corner. hit the thumbs up and then reopen the live chat. It's got 2 little chat bubbles. So if you don't know how to do it, there you go. 4 more likes, guys. 4 more to get to 80. That would be fantastic. Thank you, Redneck, for mentioning Bizarre. That's fucking awesome. Everybody, I think, knows Super Dave Osborne. I think he got his own show at some point. He passed away not that long ago, like a few years ago, I think. But John Biner was the host of Bizarre. I want to look that up on YouTube when I'm done here. And SCTV. I don't know if you guys ever watched SCTV. That was Canadian, with John Candy, Rick Moranis, Andrea Martin, Eugene Levy. Fuck, so many talented Canadians. Canadians are awesome, guys. Just saying. Quantum Leap, yes. SCTV, I saw reruns of, there you go, Nick at Night years ago. 78, wow. We were at 77 likes, not 78, so somebody must have took one back. My Two Dads, says Charles. I don't remember watching that. I do know the name. I can't picture what the actors look like or what the show looks like, but I do know the name. AC Costello Mask is a hell of a relevant show in this day and age. Mr. Wizard's World. Did anybody watch Mr. Wizard's World? I don't think anybody's mentioned it. Mr. Wizard's World. Used to watch that. There was also another Canadian show on, I think it was Saturday afternoon. It was on Global. And they told classic stories. I can't remember the show's name. And don't forget The Friendly Giant. The Friendly Giant is Canadian. Mr. Dress Up. Misfits of Science. That also sounds familiar. I can't believe anyone hasn't mentioned Family Feud. Iconic. That. Fucking watch Family Feud all the time. My mom loved Family Feud and Wheel of Fortune. And she watched Wheel of Fortune for years, decades. Because it's been on for fucking ever. And Family Feud with Richard Dawson is the best Family Feud. This new shit, it's fine or whatever, but no, Richard Dawson's where it's at. Yeah, I used to watch that all the time. So, I loved Mr. Wizard, said Mark. Wonder Years, mentioned that. You can't do that on television. I remember that. Charles, okay, so in the days between Eddie Murphy and Phil Hartman saved SNL, and the SCTV crew almost took over production of SNL for NBC. Brandon Tartikoff almost let it happen, but it fell apart last minute. That's very interesting. I didn't know that. Masterpiece Theater. Is that it? Is that the one I was asking about? I think it is. Masterpiece Theater. There's one show that was really haunting from that. Fucking Masterpiece Theater. Oh my God. See, you guys are awesome. You're like a memory jogger. Oh my God. Okay, yeah. I remember I was sick one. I wasn't sick. I had chicken noodle soup though for lunch, and I went into the living room to watch this. I think it was Masterpiece Theater. It was a beautiful sunny day outside too, so I don't know why I was inside. But anyway, wow. Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling. Yes, nobody's mentioned Hogan's Heroes, although I believe that was in the 70s, because that was Richard Dawson. Young Richard Dawson was in that, with Bob Crane, who unfortunately killed himself. But fucking Hogan's Heroes, god damn. My Two Dads. One dad from My Two Dads was Craig Evans' mom from PJ and Craig Evans from PJ and the Bear. Wow, mom, what? Tales from the Dark Side is also 80s. Yeah. Paul Reiser and Greg Evian, my two dads, hate autocorrect. Paul Reiser. So I know Paul Reiser is. Greg Evian, I can't picture who the fuck that is. Matt Houston was mentioned. Fleetpaw, if I had to rank Family Feud hosts, Richard Dawson and Steve Harvey are neck and neck. Dawson takes it by a hair because it was slightly off-color humor. Slightly. The guy was a misogynist, but it was awesome. I'm sorry. Had to kiss every female on the show. Dude, you are a fucking legend. That being said, he kissed every female on the show, and some were kind of, yeah. Bosom Buddies. Sounds familiar. Can't place it, though. Lamb Chop. Yep, Lamb Chop. Tour of Duty mentioned. Tales from the Crypt. Okay. Richard Dawson was awesome. Oh, crap. Salvage 1 with Andy Griffith. Don't know that one. Adam 12 is 70s for sure. I did mention the current Jeopardy as well. Hogan's Heroes was 70s. I only know that because my wife takes care of her grandmother, who herself insists on watching the same 5 shows from the 70s. Yeah. Eugene, 250 rubles. Charles in Charge. My Secret Identity. Those were in a weird time slot shared with Green Acres, Get Smart, and Herman's Head. Well, those last 3 are definitely 70s and 60s. But yeah, My Secret Identity I watched occasionally. Wasn't the hugest fan of the show, to be honest. Can't believe no one has mentioned the Red Green Show. There you go, you just did. Shelley Duvall had a show called Fairy Tale Theater, and it had one of, is that the one you were thinking about? No, it was the Masterpiece Theater. I'm pretty sure. Dallas, of course, yep. The Tracy Ullman Show, yeah, that would have been late 80s, I'm pretty sure. Did Masterpiece Theater have that intro ad that was animated in black and white, and it was creepy styled art? Oh, yeah, that's Masterpiece Theater. That's for that's Jeremy Brett, Sherlock Holmes. So that's not what I'm thinking about. Yeah, Masterpiece Theater had the weird kind of black and white with you saw red like blood or rose or whatever. And like the lady would fall off the building or get crushed by whatever. Yeah, that was Masterpiece Theater. Thank you. That's not the show I was thinking of that was on Global. Yeah, Masterpiece Theater, and it was hosted by Vincent Price. And that was where they had the Granada Sherlock series. And I had all those recorded on VHS because I'm a huge Holmes fan, so. Hollywood Squares and The Nanny. Yeah. Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. Oh, yes. Absolutely. I have a generally with an Iranian flag. That's cool. Daniel Hall. Hi, Stuart. Hope all is well with you and yours. Looks like I won't be able to get up there until my country gets its head out of its ass with the virus. Yeah, Dan. I really want to see you, man. I haven't seen you in a long time. But thanks for tuning in. We got to get together sometime when we can. Unfortunately, they're going to keep the border closed for another month at least, even though it's supposed to be open for stage 3 of our reopening, which started today at midnight. So we're back to stage 3. Our curve is pretty flat, but across the border, if you look at the... yeah, sorry, guys. Opening the border would be very bad for Canada with all the stuff on the American side. No offense. Now it's known as just plain Masterpiece. Mystery Science Theater 2000. No, that's not it. WKRP in Cincinnati. Lonnie Anderson, Hubba Hubba. See, I used to be a Lonnie Anderson fan when I was young. Doesn't do anything for me now. Now it's Becky, what's her name? What the hell's the other girl's name? My tastes have changed a lot. Because Bonnie is the other one in WKRP. So she's more my taste now. Back in the day, Gilligan's Island, Ginger was my thing. Not anymore. Now Marianne is where it's at. Absolutely. Like I said, with Xena, it was originally Gabrielle, now it's Xena, but I still like them both, really. Yeah, my tastes changed quite substantially over the years. I don't know if that's weird for just if that's a thing that happens. Bailey, thank you, thank you, thank you, sci-fi. Bailey, I thought it was okay. Yeah, Bailey, you're absolutely right. Yes, that's where it's at. Fleet Paw Swift back $2, 81 likes. Amazing work, folks. Can we do 90? WKRP introduced me to Hugh Wilson, who later directed the 1990 movie adaptation of Dudley Do-Right. Yeah, thank you guys for correcting me on that. It was definitely Bailey. Same with Knight Rider. I was originally a fan of Rebecca, the redhead. The one that looked after Kit for a little while. I thought Rebecca was the fucking bomb. But no, it was Bonnie. Bonnie was the fucking bomb in Knight Rider. Again, my tastes have changed. Now it's Bonnie for sure. But back in the day, I wanted the redhead Rebecca. Same with Gilligan's Island, like I said. Ginger. Ooh, loved her. Didn't think twice about Mary Ann. But you go back and watch that show, Mary Ann is to fucking die for. And Dawn Wells still looks fucking fabulous. So I don't know where the fuck my head was when I was younger, but I'm glad I grew up. Daniel Hall, no offense taken. Mary Ann always, yeah. Fuck yeah. Something is out there about a female alien teaming up with a human cop. Started as a movie, became a short TV series. Don't remember that. Brave Star was mentioned. Both are great choices. What about Gilligan's Island? Is its theme tune? I have Gilligan's Island on my MP3 player too. And A-Team. I got everything. Fantasy Island, Mr. Rourke. Yeah. And Tattoo. The boss, the plane. Like Velma, like Scooby, do Velma hottie now. Fuck yeah, you're absolutely right. Again, it was all about Daphne back in the day. Now, Velma. And I know Velma's probably batting for the other team, but that makes it even hotter. And all the cosplays of Velma are fantastic. So Velma's the sexy nerd, and yes. I don't know. Let me know, guys. Have your taste changed from when you were a kid? Because if I had made decisions based on when I was a kid, I wouldn't be as happy. My tastes have really changed over the years, for sure. And back when you're a kid, you're like, if I could, make any wish, this is what I would wish for. And it's like, as an adult, not so much. Mary Ann Pigtails, just saying. Yes, redneck, I know. The plane, boss, the plane. Sci-Fi Nation. Samuel will be on my channel, Cat. I'm just waiting to hear back from him, bud. Yeah, he mentioned that you had contacted him, and he's very busy right now. He's got some fan film deadlines, plus we have Lower Decks coming out August 6th. So before, when I was fucking bugging you and messaging you to fucking contact him, he was free. After Picard, we had like a lull where he didn't have anything to do, really. He had no deadlines. Now all the deadlines have ramped up. So you're out of luck, my friend. You need to check your messenger. He'll be on. Count Duckula. Automan, yeah. Fantasy Island. Let's see. Johnny Bravo. That was 90s, I'm pretty sure, but I love Johnny Bravo. Heather Thomas. Yeah, she was in Fall Guy. Fucking gorgeous. Oh. Peace out, my friends. World is made better because you're all alive in it. Well, thank you very much. Captain Caveman, that was 70s for sure. Duckula. What about Duckman? Everybody remember Duckman? I think that might have been 90s, actually. Duckman was probably 90s. Was partial to brunettes. Joe, Velma, Marianne. Yeah. Flintstones, This Old House. Wow. Home Improvement was that late? No, that was definitely 90s. Yes, Captain Duckman did air in the 90s. Okay. We'll have to do a 90s one of these sometime. Anyway, guys, I'm going to call that quits. It's been just over an hour, and you guys have been fantastic. We got 83 likes with 61 people watching. It's fantastic. Does anybody want to throw in a last super chat? Have the last super chat slot? Maybe another $10 would be fantastic to close out the show. This has been really fun and brought back a lot of memories. I really appreciate you guys for that. It's answered some of my questions. It's things that I've been wondering about for a while that you guys have been helping me with memory wise, and I love that. So thank you. And just all the flashbacks to my childhood. And I don't know if you guys know, but my mom passed away in October, and just having those memories and flashbacks is fantastic. I actually visited my dad today, so to get those flashbacks here and to just it's been fun. It's been great. And I really want to thank you guys. You guys have really boosted my mood. I was in a good mood all day, but now I'm just in a much better mood. So I want to thank you so much. Mealy Critical puts in $5. Love it, Captain. Well, I love your name. Mealy Critical is fantastic. And thank you, Jason. Fleet Pop Swiftback, $2. Roseanne, heck yeah. Yeah, I was a huge Roseanne fan. You watched the new one. Now it's the Connors. But I love that. And let's see. Yeah. Anyway, guys, that is it. Thank you guys for watching. It has been super fantastic. And I will be back with you guys at some point this weekend. I'm not sure exactly when, but I do want to do at least 1 or 2 more lives this weekend. So stay tuned. And a lot of them I know are not a lot of notice. You might get half an hour. You might go. I just go live at one point, and I apologize for that. I don't like scheduling things into my weekends because sometimes I have good intentions and just can't meet them or whatever. It's usually spontaneity and so just stay tuned. Be subscribed to the channel and make sure you click the bell notification to all, just so you don't miss anything. But yeah, I can't always schedule things. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Have a great night. Ozzy Medeiros just threw in $10 here, Captain Skeleton Hands. Thank you very much, Ozzy. Very much appreciate that. Hit that last super chat goal, which was awesome. And Asian Pirate, $2. Thanks for the rewind. Yeah, thank you guys for the rewind. You helped me out so much. You made me think of so many other things, and it's just great. I need to look into a few things now when I go downstairs. So thank you, guys. Mwah. You guys are fantastic. Anyway, have a good night, and I will see you very soon. Bye, guys.